Welcome to the Existential Stoic
Hey,
podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. What's going on, Danny?
what's up, Randy?
Yeah, so this week we're doing another free form episode. These are always fun because we just get to get off our chest whatever stuff is weighing us down, or maybe
Heck
things that are going
yeah.
good, or we can talk about it. And then people remember that we're people too, and we have problems. We don't have all the answers. And yeah, so Danny, how you doing?
Good. Well, we have a lot of answers, just not when I need them.
Yeah, right. We have years of answers behind us posted on YouTube on the podcast, but when we need them, they're not available to
They're
us.
never
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah. I've been doing good. Actually, I feel like I've been doing much better recently than I was. Yeah, but I think this happens. I notice this happens to me all the time. I'm sure a lot of people have this experience where like like I feel like it's like waves. Like things are going good. I'm doing good. Mentally, I'm doing good. I can handle all kinds of ups and downs and whatever, and everything's fine. And then there's like I hit like something, and then it's like I start to slide down slowly, and then it goes faster and faster. And so like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I just felt really bummed out. And like I should have noted I think I should have noticed it maybe sooner, but I'm not sure. But like, it's hard to tell sometimes, like what it is. But and I was telling you before, like, it was just like I was stressing myself out that like I want to get all these things done, and it's always that thing of time. Like you want to get it done now, you want to start now, because I want to be that person now, and it's like, but I also have other things that I have to do as well. So I'm doing all these different like conflicting things, and I was just too stressed, and I wasn't getting enough progress done, and I was getting hard on myself and stuff. And then the one day I realized it's like I'm almost done like the classes I'm doing right now. I'm teaching. I need to just get that out of the way. Then I can focus fully on something else, and things will move a lot better. And so that's what I did. So I need to
Hmm.
stop doing other stuff. Like when I have time, like downtime after class, I do a little bit and all, but I'm not stressing about it. I turned off that part of like trying to progress a lot. And it helped so much. And I also took 2 days off and like just hung out with my partner and stuff. And that was fun. So that was nice. I
Hmm.
needed a break.
Yeah. Well, that's a good distinction to notice that it's those things that are causing you the frustrations that you just need to get through. I had a similar experience probably about like 2 to 4 weeks ago, where there were two things that I was doing that were causing 99% of my stress in life. And I recognize that like it's not, I mean, sure, they have some long-term benefit and I should finish them, but they were just causing all the stress. And I was like, I need to get these things out of my life, but I can't just quit them. I need to finish
Yeah.
this. But even just knowing that those were the things that were causing all the stress and all the problems, it did ease up the problems a little bit because I knew that I could go there. I could be like, this is going to be stressful. This is going to suck. Just do it. There's only so much time left.
It's funny how that helps, doesn't it? Like even when it sucks, but you just gotta get through it then. It's not a matter like
Mm-hmm.
whatever's just getting through. It's funny, it like takes the pressure off. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about you, but I do feel like in the past, like over the past, like I don't know, like 5 years or whatever, like I've been getting much better at identifying when, like how I feel when I'm feeling it, which I mean, it might sound stupid because like you're feeling it, but like I don't know, I feel like it's been so helpful just like recognizing it instead of like letting that feeling like drag me in some direction for a while before I notice it, you know what I mean? And like get
Mm-hmm.
me all off course. Like I'm getting much better at identifying it early. And I think that's been so helpful because then you can actually, even if you don't do anything with it, you at least know what's going on. And it just makes it so much easier to handle the stress and not get angry at people for no reason or not get like, depressed or whatever for no reason. Like you know what's going on then. It just makes it nice.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because I also have been focusing on recognizing feelings.
Yeah.
Because it's like up until I don't know, up until like a year ago, I didn't even recognize the validity of feelings. Like I had three
Yeah.
feelings. I had like hungry, angry, and horny, and that was it. Like so like
Yeah.
turns out there's a whole spectrum of feelings. I actually ordered these it's basically like a children's feeling chart just so I can
Nice.
help recognize more feelings. And I put that up on the wall so that I can do it. But it also has suggestions for like when you're feeling worried or when you're feeling frustrated or when you're feeling angry, things to do to help handle those feelings.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Like, I mean, it is a cliche, but it's true. Like, I think like men were raised so emotionally stunted most of the time. And like, it messes you up, it does. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it is funny because I think I used to like, if I didn't feel like happy or like, contented, like I just attributed everything to not feeling well. Like, like I probably misinterpreted like depression and anxiety as like a physical thing, not a, you know what I mean? Like as a, like an ailment, not a, mental thing. And for a
Mm,
long time, probably. And I think that that was not good. So yeah, identifying it, I think is super helpful because just being
hmm
aware of like where you are, it also makes you more present, I think, when you identify it. Because like it's so easy to get like, just get dragged along by your feelings rather than like knowing what the fuck's going on and being like clear and being present with it. Even if you're just sitting with it and realizing like it sucks or whatever, just feeling it, experiencing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it's
another
weird.
thing that you mentioned in the beginning with like the waves coming. So like feelings come and go in waves. And it's interesting because even though I still get swept up by the tides of feelings and the good and bad things in life, I've become better at recognizing like the peaks and the troughs of the waves because
Yeah.
as soon as I think, oh, it's smooth sailing, I finally got this, I know that's the moment right before everything falls apart. And then as soon as I think, oh, I'm never going to survive this, there's no way I can get through this, I also know that's the bottom. So like just,
Yeah.
give it some time.
Dude, it's so funny because like 4 days before I started feeling bad, I was like, man, things are going great. I'm feeling yeah, and it is. It's like I don't know if I like let my guard down or something. And I'm like, I'm good. Let everything in. And then it just
Dude, it's the nature of the beast. Like the brain loves to have problems. If you have no problems, your brain will find them. I've seen this happen. There were a couple times in my life where like it was just by like a miracle, like all my problems vanished. And for a day or two, I was just living on cloud nine. I was like, this is insane. I must be enlightened. Like this is incredible. But like and then like literally everything my brain was just like, I can't live without problems. I gotta find everything. And
yeah,
just everything was a problem.
yeah, it's crazy. Like it's really crazy. It always amazes me too, like how I don't know, we just the way we interpret the world, the meaning we place on things, and the way we can make like for instance, the way we can make like an obligation feel like it's literally like literally deterministic. You know what I mean? Like where it almost feels like you have no choice. Like it's amazing how we can do that. And it's like we don't have to do that thing, but we make ourselves believe it. It's so weird. And I think like that's a big thing too. Like I think a lot of people struggle with, and I know I did for a long time, was like, what do I really want? And are these things really aligned with what I want? And the truth is probably not, because they probably came from outside sources and you were convinced to feel that way. And then people guilt trip you. And there's a lot of other things that happen to try to, reinforce it, but still, yeah, it is
Dude,
interesting.
like the whole damned if you do, damned if you don't type
Yeah.
of thing. I had that experience recently causing me a bunch of stress where like, I talk about the Wim Hof breathing all the time.
Yeah.
How I do that on a regular basis. Well, he has his winter expedition coming up where he goes to Poland and for a week does a whole bunch of breathing, ice baths, hiking up a mountain in your Speedo or something like that. And
He does a lot of
and
stuff with cold. Like,
yeah, yeah. And so like part of me wants to do it because I do enjoy, well, I mean, kind of, okay, so part of me wants to go, a lot of me doesn't want to go because it
yeah,
would be
yeah.
cold and painful. And so I'm causing myself anxiety because if I miss it, then, I won't be able to go until next year, maybe. Then if I do go, oh, then it'll be painful. I'll have that, all that. So it's just like, damned if I do, damned if I don't, either way.
Yeah. That's one of those things too, where like you could go by yourself and do all the same things, but you're probably not going to do it. Like it's probably easier with a group too, because then like, and you paid somebody
Mm.
for it, so like, yeah, like helps you
Well, so
motivate
here's
you.
the thing. So like thinking about it now while I'm sitting here in a climate controlled room, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, the cold will be hard. Like, but every time I've been in an ice bath recently, I've been like, no freaking way I'm going to do that.
No, it's freezing. Yeah. Dude, I do that all the time. Where like out of the situation, like, yeah, I can totally do that. It won't be an issue at all. And then as soon as it happens, like, oh, I hate this. Like, I forgot how much I hate it.
Dude, I remember like when I first started doing ice baths kind of regularly, the first time I ever did one, I was like, I was in there and I was like, there is no way I am ever coming back, never doing this again. No way. And then like as soon as I got out of the ice bath, I'm like, okay, sign me up for next week.
Well, what do they say? It's like, they say it like, what was it like? We're good at forgetting all the bad parts of stuff because we would never do it again. Like, women never remember like all the pain of pregnancy. They know it when they're obviously experiencing it, but like afterwards they forget it when they want to have another kid and stuff because if they remembered it, they would never do it again. And it's like,
Yeah.
but it's true with so much stuff. Like we do that all the time, and it's interesting. Like on the one hand, I mean, it is fun to see like what you can do and like proving to yourself that you can do it. Because like, I think we can all like do so much more than we actually think we can and deal with so much more if we're really pushed. But the world's comfortable. We don't have to like, I don't have to chase down my meal and like if I don't get it, I don't eat type of thing. So it's like, we don't have to push ourselves as hard all the time. So I think it is harder to kind of put ourselves in those positions. But it is good to sometimes because it does teach you that you can overcome these things. That like, a little bit of pain is not a bad thing. A little bit of an uncomfortable experience is not terrible and you can get through it.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that has helped with that, like doing the ice baths and stuff, or like just dealing with discomfort?
Oh yeah, definitely. It helped. I think that's one of the things that helps me recognize like the peaks and the troughs of emotions because
Yeah.
there's a very like it's not exactly 2 minutes, but it's roughly about 2 minutes into the ice bath where it's like peak pain and then it just breaks. So like
Oh,
it progressively gets worse for the first minute and then up to about 2 minutes, it gets about as bad as like you literally think you're gonna die, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And it'll come back after that in like little peaks and waves, but never as bad. And so, yeah, like learning to identify that because I just know when I'm in the ice bath, when I'm feeling as much pain as possible, I know that eventually it's going to break. Like I just need to give it some time. And eventually, or initially, what I did was I would be counting. I would just like as soon as it got painful, I would just count, and I'd be like, if I get to 120, I know it'll be over. But now I just focus on feeling the cold, and yeah.
yeah. It's interesting because if you focus, I know like if you focus on the actual pain, it's so hard to deal with. Like you can't. But it's really interesting. It's like a good example is like I know like getting tattooed. Like if you focus on the pain of the tattoo, it's like unbearable after a little while because like you just can't get out of your head. But if you're talking to the person or something and distracting yourself, it's like so weird how the same pain is like you can totally ignore it. And it's kind of amazing. Like it's like this like choosing to focus on it. And I do wonder sometimes like most of us, the world's pretty comfortable. And like, if we're so hypersensitive to being in a state of like contentness or like comfort, that any sort of pain feels way worse than it really is, or like it's way harder for us to ignore it because we're just not used to it at all, like or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah, there was some study in that book. What is that? The game Super Better, talking about how like giving people visually appealing video games was very good for making them forget pain.
Oh, really? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because they're so stimulated visually, and visual is our biggest sense. So they're so stimulated visually that they kind of forget about the pain that they have going on. There's
Oh,
just
that's
your body can only process so many signals at once. So if you have very visually appealing ones, then the pain ones
oh, that makes sense. You
don't
can
get
distract
processed.
yourself sort of because you got your overloading it with other something better, essentially, is taking your
Hmm.
attention. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It is crazy though. It's like I don't know. Well, it's funny. Like I finally started working out again. I've been doing it now for a little over a month. So that's been awesome. And the one thing I
Hmm.
did forget is like I forgot how like that. It's weird how like even that pain, like because the first couple of days I totally always every time I start again, I always feel so sore because I probably do too much. But like it's a good like I always think it's a good pain though. It's weird. Like I don't see that as bad, even though it hurts like hell. It's like I know
Hmm.
why I feel that way. I did it, and I'm kind of happy because I'm starting again. And it's just funny
Hmm.
how like you can interpret the experience so differently. Even though normally if that happened to me, I'd be like, "What the hell's wrong?" I feel terrible, Like,
Yeah. Oh my goodness. If you didn't work out and you felt that way, it would be so confusing because you'd be like, what's happening to me?
I broke my
Yeah, I did
body.
the yeah, same thing happened to me when I started working out again. Because I did a whole bunch of different workouts. I did like swimming and Pilates and all this different stuff, but I didn't lift weights. And so when I started lifting weights
Oh
again,
yeah,
it
yeah,
wrecked me. I thought I would be prepared for. I was like, yeah, come on, I do Pilates, I swim, I do all this stuff. But dude, it wrecked me same way for like a
yeah.
week. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't like my arms. I didn't feel like I could extend my arms fully. Like,
Yeah, dude, I did a full body workout the first day. The next day, I like tore like every month. I was like, oh man, I couldn't sit down right. Oh, it was
yeah.
hard. Yeah, but
Mhm.
it's funny though because it's like you get. I don't know. Exercising is a very, at least for me, it's a very good example of how you can just overcome stuff. Because it's like it's weird how it flips becoming so. I don't know, you just feel better doing it. It gets rid of so much stress. And even the pain of it is like you see how worthwhile it is because of that slow progress forward. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a nice and it's a very
Hmm.
concrete example because you see the progress, you see what's going on. It's very easy. Whereas like learning skills and stuff, sometimes it's hard to tell like how far you're advanced and stuff because like it might not be clear. That's very clear. So I do like that one
Hmm.
too in my life. Yeah, I
Yeah,
missed it.
definitely. Yeah, a lot of times when you're learning stuff, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, and
Yeah,
that
it
can
feels like
just
you're going
be,
backwards.
yeah,
Like,
that can just be frustrating.
yeah, the first like month you feel great, you feel like you're making all this progress, and you hit that critical point, you're like, I know nothing. And it's like you feel like you're like less like now that you know it, like you're somehow worse off than before you even started.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So another interesting thing is, so I'm playing through Zelda the second time.
Nice.
The first time I cheated my way through. It was super
Nice.
fun initially, like, like the infinite duplication glitch, all the different, basically I could do anything I wanted in the game. And it just wasn't that fun because I had all the stuff. This time, have to work for it, have to go around collect stuff, have to sometimes not have the stuff that I want. And it's interesting because the game is more fun.
Well, you know
And
what? No, go ahead, sorry.
I see like the parallel to life because like if you have everything in life, it kind of gets boring. Like you look at all these people who are born into super rich families who are just like really depressed. And then somebody who has to really work for everything in their life, they enjoy it, they appreciate it. And I kind of see the same parallel there with the game.
That is true though. It's like if you if something doesn't take any work, you don't, most of us won't ascribe it much value. So it makes sense. Like if you and or it's just also you don't see the same growth in yourself, so it's like it doesn't have that same like value and like it won't stay with you as long either. But I think also too when you're doing like the cheats in the games too, they can be fun in themselves because they're hard to do sometimes. So it's like, and at a certain point that you just get tired of it, because it's not like the story or anything. So you just, it is what it is. But yeah, they can be fun in
Mhm.
their own way too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I still have the account that has the glitch character.
nice.
Yeah, because he has. I mean, like literally, he can one shot pretty much anything in there, and his sword is this crazy glitch sword. But it's yeah, sometimes it's fun just to have
Oh,
to struggle and do difficult things.
just remember, totally on the side. Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out, and that's got couch co-op as well as for up to 4 players online. So I am psyched for that because I'm gonna get that on for PS5 when that comes out, and then
That
and
means you
here
can
and
actually play next to somebody.
yes. Dude, when was the last game
What?
that had? I was thinking about that. It's like, man, I mean, like the Switch does have some games like the party games and stuff, but like when was the last like serious like story game like that that came out that you could actually I can't remember. Like I think the last one I probably played like that, like in couch co-op was maybe PS3. I don't remember. It's a long time though. It's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
been a long freaking time. I mean, I remember back in the day with like pre GameCube, how you had Mario Party, you had GoldenEye 007, like all
Oh,
these
heck
games
yeah,
where
dude.
you'd invite your friends over and you would
Yeah.
play four people on a screen because that was
Well, because
awesome.
there was no internet to handle it.
Hmm.
So you had to, yeah,
Yeah.
but that was awesome. That was so fun. And you have like
Hmm.
8 people in the room and the loser would get kicked out of the
And
game.
dude,
Yeah.
the which one was that? The Mario Party on one of the Nintendo things where you had the controller and you had
Uh,
to spin it like this.
I
Everybody would
think
get blisters on the center of their
that
hand.
was probably 64, wasn't it? With the
Yeah, that was 64. That
yeah,
was it.
yeah, fun games though. Yeah, but I miss couch co-op, dude. Like I like playing online with my friends and stuff, but that's nice because you're right there. I do miss that. It's
Hmm.
like more of it's just more of like a what do you call it? A social thing,
Yeah.
It's nice. You're actually in the same room. You don't have to wear headphones to talk. It's cool. But
Hmm.
yeah, so that's cool. So how so you're playing through the whole game again now, just regular?
Yeah, just taking it slow, a little bit every day. And like exploring the depths is differently because before I had the vehicles, like infinite vehicles, so I could just do it
Yeah.
whatever. And so now I have to walk through there and actually do the stuff. But yeah. And plus I'm not looking up anything on YouTube. So like I don't know where
Oh,
stuff is unless I remember it, which I really don't.
yeah.
So it's kind of just stumbling along and finding what I find.
Yeah, so it's like serious. Yeah.
Hmm.
That is a hard thing that too I find like is trying not to well like not trying to speed through everything and do it as fast as possible or like even just trying to take it slow is really hard sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not even like even with that, like not overdoing because like those games are tough because like if you're playing it regular like that, like not you want to make progress, but sometimes it takes sitting down for like it's funny. Like if you sit down for 2 hours, you can get a lot done, but if you sit down for 10 minutes, you get nothing done. It's like that contrast. So there's like this impulse to do it for a while, and it's hard to spread it out over time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also have a hard time with giving time to video games and stuff like that because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like, oh, if I'm doing that, I'm not doing something worthwhile,
Important. Yeah.
important. Yeah, something important. But who's to know?
Well,
Who's
if
to
you
know?
like it though, what I mean? That's the thing. I feel the same way there too. I always struggle with that because like I'm worried that like in the back of my head, I'm like, are you wasting? Have you been learning something? But it's like if it's fun, why not? Like, 'cause if you enjoy it, it's okay to have fun too. I have a question for you.
Wait, it's okay to have
I
fun?
know, right? It's
Yeah.
okay to enjoy yourself and not just do others. I mean, like everything I do is fun, but I mean, like you enjoy stuff, but like not like just trying to like do whatever, learn new things or
Hmm.
skills or whatever. Um, do you think it's like when you're doing a lot of things, do you think it's better to like give more time to a few and focus on them for longer periods of the day, or focus on more things for less time each day? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so good question. So I find that when I'm focusing on a whole bunch of stuff is when I start feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It happens.
And and so like whenever I do that, I sit down, I make a list of all the things I'm up to, and it's usually like 60 some things. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, no wonder I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm trying to accomplish all this stuff. So like I've recently sat down a few times and I've like written out lists of what's most important to me, like what things do I enjoy the most, which things have the most long-term benefit, trying to like prioritize really what's important to me. And it's difficult because the things that I find are the biggest benefit for me are not necessarily like the money-making things, which
Yeah.
is and so I have this whole like internal battle. Like if I just focus on the most important things, how am I going to survive?
Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah. So I think that for me personally, I think it's more important to focus on the things that are more important and focus less on the things that are less important, trying to minimize the number of things that you're doing so that you can actually go deeper into them. But that particularly like the money making things, because those aren't necessarily the things uh that I have highly ranked that make me the money. And but also I'm scared of trying to rely on those things for money because generally the things uh that are enjoyable don't pay that well.
yeah, I mean, it's true, right? Or like, you're lucky if you enjoy, but even if you enjoy something, there's going to be aspects of it you don't like, or it's going I mean, it's just how work is all the time, or like any kind of thing. So it is hard. Yeah, I've been trying, I don't know, recently I've been trying to, I guess, do like more prioritization, but also like, I do like having a few things on my plate because like, especially if they're like things I'm working on projects and stuff, I can switch. So like if I get stuck on one thing or like if I get tired of doing one thing, I can move on to something else, still make progress. And like I find that can be very helpful for me, like the way I work in terms of like moving forward with things up to a point, when you're getting real deep into stuff, sometimes that doesn't work. But like, so I've been really trying to get clear on like, basically which direction I want to go, I guess, and like the few things that I feel are most important for getting there. But without, see, this is the hard part too, because you don't want to, I mean, like, I know if I give all my efforts to one thing, I can do really well at it. But there's other things I want to do, and I don't want to sacrifice everything. So it's always that balancing act too, right? Because like, I think we all forget that like if we just give, you look at like the Olympians, if you give everything you have to one thing, everybody, I mean, yeah, I mean, depends on competition and stuff, but everybody's going to be really good at it. I mean, you're just giving all your time to it, but like you're sacrificing a lot too, and that's the hard balance. That's the difficult thing.
Yeah. And then when you're done doing that thing, like look at the professional football players. They put everything into football, and then when their career ends, they're 40 years old, and unless they become a commentator, what are they going to do with the rest of their life?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's like, and yeah, so you have like longevity and stuff. It is difficult. Life's
Hmm.
difficult, isn't it? It's very hard.
Yeah. So why do you ask?
I've just been trying to get clear myself on like what's best because I notice like sometimes like I mean I know it's like dependent upon what you're doing. Obviously, it's a lot of different things. But like today, for example, like I knew I was trying to get like because I'm on my last meeting with class, so I was trying to get all the grading stuff. But I finished some of that. I was waiting for some stuff to come in, like students to submit stuff. So I switched over to something else I was working on, like something small that I knew I could knock out in like half an hour and just did it. Like instead of just stopping. And I found that was nice because like kept me active and like kept me going for a little bit and like I got more done. So I felt good about it. But like, you know, that type of stuff. I
Hmm.
like being able to switch sometimes, but it's helpful when it's not like stuff when you're real deep into it because I think that is harder because you can lose your train of thought or lose your like where you're going with it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I like having a few different things to do, but it's also like it's difficult because the times when I have free time, I usually don't feel like doing anything, you know? It's like I have
Yeah,
all this stuff that I could do, but it's like I don't want to do that. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
You know, the other funny thing, and maybe this is just like I don't know, it's funny like because I feel like I've been working so hard to get things in the right direction, and they are going in the right direction now. So now I feel like maybe I'm also like before it was like just like before it was like getting out of depression and getting things back on track and all that, which was like hard. And I'm very proud of myself for it. It was a lot of work, all that. But now I feel like I'm going in the right direction. So now it's like that more critical stuff of like, okay, seriously, which direction do I want to go in? Which path do I want to take? Because now, like, you get down to the point where like, okay, I have to make choices about this. I have to put maybe more energy into this to really make it happen. All that. And you get into these sorts of questions like, and then you start like, is this stuff a waste of time? That kind of questions where I think now maybe it's more like critical questions about how I want to spend the next like few years or something. And that's also hard.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's being able to take the right actions again and again, even though you don't see results yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like I kind of look at it like the what's that? The principle of gravity or whatever they call it, the law of gravity, where like if you drop something, if you
Oh,
let go of something, it's going to drop. Okay. And what we don't realize is that like in life, there are the same types of laws, cause and effect. And so for many things that we do, if we do them, it's going to happen. It does, even though it
yeah,
doesn't, even though we don't see it initially. And that's the hardest part is like sometimes it can take months or years until we're able to see it. But like if you take these actions, these things will result, but you have to have faith and you just have to keep taking those same actions. And that's why a lot of people get stopped, like with diets, with making money, with all this different thing, because they're not quick fixes. It's like
yeah.
it's a long game, but we're sold the idea of the quick fix. That
We
sounds great.
are.
Oh,
Yeah.
push this button, just it'll be this new fad diet. Oh, like all this
Yeah.
stuff.
It's fun. It's fun to do new things, but you're never really committing to anything. And I think that's the other thing. Like, it's like hey, that's probably it, right? We just our expectations for things to happen now and like those long-term things, they're hard to see. It's hard to see how much each little thing's adding up to that. And sometimes maybe they're not, but they are always like, even if you're failing at something, you're still making progress towards it because you know now what not to do. But it's hard to
Hmm.
see that in the moment, and it's like that's the difficult thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But keep going.
keep going. Yeah, so I guess anything else you want to talk about in today's episode?
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's been an eventful couple of weeks. We'll get there. Keep
Yeah,
moving.
yeah. We talked about feelings, we talked about other things and whatnot, and however, and yeah,
Goal and what I who knows. Yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. I like these
yeah.
episodes.
I know they're
I feel
good. They're
lighter.
good. I know it's a good way to clear the plate,
Yeah,
just
it is. It's
and
nice.
then we can do whatever. Yeah, so there you have it, another episode of the Existential Stoic podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or YouTube or something, they're super helpful. Also, down in the description, the show notes, we have a little survey. Help us create a product. You'll get it for free. It'll help you absolutely crush it this next year. This is the access. This is that show that I can't do the name of today. I'm
Ah,
Randy. That's Danny. I'll see you later, Danny.
later, Randy.